Hey everyone, I'm Chris Anderson. I'm the middle school science coach for Cincinnati Public Schools. Erosion and deposition are important concepts for 8th graders to understand, but teaching them without the right materials can be, shall we say, a little rocky. Which is why today I'm going to teach you how to make your own stream table for around less than $50 and some cool activities for which to use it with. Our project today is a little DIY. But as long as you put together a toy with some assembly required, you'll be just fine. This design was actually put together by Ryan Hollister at Turlock High School in Turlock, California. The link to his website is below, which you can find the text instructions to this project, as well as lots of other cool resources. Let's start by putting our materials together, and you will need
10 feet of 1/2 inch by 3/8 of an inch vinyl tubing, 1 2-inch zinc-plated lamp nipple, 2 brass knurled lock nuts, 2 7/8 inch by 3/8 of an inch rubber washers, 2 3/8 of an inch barbed tubing nylon elbow, 2 zip ties, a 5-gallon bucket, 2 2-inch plastic spring clamps, a 2-inch square of nylon screen, a submersible water pump. Mine is about 210 gallons per hour. An underbed storage box. I'm using one that is approximately 40 quarts, but if you can find one that's larger, go ahead and use it. Some big bags of sand, and a roll of garden cloth that extends the length of your storage box.
You'll also need a few tools to put everything together. You'll need a screwdriver, a lighter, an X-Acto knife, and a hot glue gun. Now that we got all our materials and tools, let's get cracking by putting together our drainage apparatus. We begin by putting a small hole in the corner of the bottom of the storage bin.
Using your lighter, heat your screwdriver for about 30 seconds, then poke it through the storage bin. Make your hole about 1/4 to 1/2 inch or so from the bottom. Insert your nipple into the hole with slightly more length sticking out of the box than in, which should have a very tight fit. Remember, only you can prevent leaks. If you need to make your hole slightly bigger, use the heat from the hot glue gun to melt and expand the plastic. You're also going to want to scrape away any plastic around your hole with the X-Acto knife to make a nice, flat surface for the washers. Again, no leaks. With it secure in the hole, add 1 rubber washer to each side of the nipple so that they are flush against the plastic. Then screw on the brass lock nuts so they are tight as possible. Next, cut off about 4 feet of your tubing. Taking the 4-foot piece, cut another piece of tubing about 3 inches in length. We are going to use this tubing to make a 90-degree turn with our drain hose to make the draining a little smoother. Do this by inserting the elbow between the 2 pieces and then attaching the short end of the hose to the drain. To prevent any surprise water fountains from happening in class, we will use one of the zip ties to secure the plastic tubing to the drain. Use the other zip tie to attach the nylon screen to the inside of the drain. This should help prevent the drain from clogging up.
Okay, with our drain complete, we can start working on our pump system. So get your 5-gallon bucket, fill it about halfway with water. This is going to act as our reservoir. Then take the longer piece of tubing and put one end on the end of your stream table, and using one of those clamps, go ahead and clamp it down. That should hold it secure. Then with the other end, you're going to use and hook it into the nozzle here on the pump, and then put the pump grill side down in your bucket. If you're having trouble fitting the tubing on the end of the nozzle, you can just buy some tubing of slightly larger diameter. Or if you're lazy like I am and don't plan on using the pump for anything else, go ahead and make a cut about 1 inch long ways along the tube.
Place the tube on the nozzle and seal it with a hot glue gun.
Okay, so our drain has been installed. Our pump system is set up. Now all we need is some sand through which our water to flow. As you can see on the interior of the Tupperware, I've got some cheap garden cloth laid out. That will not only keep the sand from slumping down towards the bottom, but it will make for really easy cleanup. All I do is take the cloth out, sand and all, and I can lay it out in the sunshine, let it dry for easy storage. I even have a hole cut right here for our drain.
Place a couple books or wood blocks under your table and fill the inside of your table with sand of your choice. Plug in your pump, turn it on, and you've got yourself a fully operating stream table.
There are lots of different ways to incorporate stream tables in your classroom. One way is you can have the students build landscapes with the sand and then turn on the pump and see how the land changes. You can have the students make maps of their landscapes before the water is turned on, and then at various points after to see the shifts and how the river changes the landscapes.
You can also change the flow rate of your stream by changing the incline of your table. This is a great way to see how infrastructure, like canals, can change how and where a river flows. To keep the plastic bin from bowing from the weight of your sand, get yourself some plywood for your stream table to sit on. Another thing you can do is look at erosion and deposition with different types of sediment. You can even model glacial melt by filling a roasting sheet full of water, sticking it in your freezer overnight, then put it in your stream table and watch what happens when it melts. But my all-time favorite way to use stream tables is having the students become civil engineers and build erosion protection for buildings in the stream table. This can be as high-tech as using a 3D printer or as low-tech as using toothpicks and cotton balls. I've even used pre-selected sets of Legos for each group. It's not important what the kids use, but that they can test their solutions and improve upon it when it fails.
That's our video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you and your students have an awesome time learning about deposition and erosion and how streams and rivers can change our landscape. We'll see you next time.